Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking and walking you guys through 10 features that you've probably forgotten about in The Sims 4 or you had no idea that these features existed. So I did one of these videos about a year and a half ago now where I talked about 5 forgotten features that I always tend to forget about in The Sims 4. So I thought, why not double it? Why not do 10 features that most people probably ever forget exist in The Sims 4. And to make it even better, all of these features are actually included in The Sims 4 base game. Some of them unfortunately won't be available to console players because you guys do not yet have the gallery, but that's only one of them, so if you do play on console as well, stick around for this video because you might find out some stuff about The Sims 4 that you never ever knew. We're gonna start it off in Create a Sim because this is where most of us first go when we load up The Sims 4. If you want to start a new family, if you want to start a new save file, you have to begin in Create a Sim. And number one is randomizing from the gallery. So if you do want to start a new family or you just want to create a sim, but you don't really have any inspiration to do so, sorry console players, this isn't available to you because you don't have access to the gallery. But actually at the bottom of Create a Sim, there is a little button and you can actually randomize a sim from the gallery. Yes, you might end up with some crazy hot messes, but you might also end up with a sim that you never ever would have thought of yourself. And then this little I information button appears and you can choose to save that sim to your gallery for later, or if you want to check out their full information box that the original creator typed in, if you want to hear more about the story that they had in mind when they created that sim, you can do so, or you can also just save the sim. Also, it won't include custom content, so don't worry if you don't have any CC installed on your PC, that is absolutely fine. The randomize from gallery will only pick sims that have all the Maxis official content. The second forgotten feature is also a part of Create a Sim, and this is one that I personally use all the time, but I have seen comments about people not knowing how to do this or that they just don't know that it exists, and it's actually choosing your sim's posture. So if you actually turn your sim to the side in Create a Sim, you can actually drag their spine up and down, and that will change how your sim holds themselves. I usually go to the tippity top of the scale. I like my sims to sit and stand upright. I don't know, I just really appreciate good posture. It gives me big horse girl energy because I used to ride horses and I think that's why I have such good posture these days. But this is a really cute little feature. It's pretty small, so I can see why people probably did forget about it. But if you just want to add some little bit of character to your sims, this is the way to go about it. Once you move out of Create a Sim, the next thing you're probably gonna want to do is either build a house for your sim or edit an EA lot, or download one from the gallery and then edit it up to suit your sim. So I thought it would be a good idea to include some build mode forgotten features. You might know these if you watch Lil Simsy, aka Kayla. She uses this trick an awful lot and she constantly reminds her subscribers about it. But if you are editing a roof, if you hit the shift key on your keyboard and then drag out the edges of the roof, so you either extend it or you can shorten it, or you can also just drag out the roof bits. I'm not technical, I don't know what any of these terms mean, but if you hold shift click whilst dragging the roof out, it will only change one side of the roof, so you can have asymmetrical roofing. This is a feature that everyone seems to forget when they are building, unless you are a builder and like that's your main priority in the game. The next feature is a feature I didn't even know existed until I decided that I wanted to make a follow-up video of this, and so I went through the comments of the last video to see if I could get myself any ideas. And Laura Baker commented, "I only just remembered about automatic placement of windows and I can't remember how to do it." I had no idea that automatic window placement was actually a thing in The Sims 4. This is something I have never used. You might not find it that handy because it does kind of just spawn all of the same windows in a room, especially if you have like a large living area. But how you go about this is you click on the windows in build mode and then you actually hit by room, choose the window that you want to apply to that room, and it will automatically place all of those windows. You can place them and then you can delete them one by one. So if you aren't happy with like some of the windows, or you do want to mix and match them a little bit, you also do have that customizable option. But this is really handy if you don't class yourself as a builder. I personally never know where to place windows and always think they look a little funky when I do it. I always add too many or too little and it just doesn't look great. So this might just give you an idea on where to actually place some windows, and then you can go back and just customize it yourself. If you are a cheater of The Sims 4 like myself, sometimes you forget which cheat you are about to use. There is actually a help option. So if you hit Control-Shift-C to bring up the cheat bar and then type in help and hit enter, it actually comes up with a little list of cheats. I will hold my hands up and say they aren't the best cheats in the game. Hello, it doesn't even give you motherload. I'm fairly sure the producers were like, everyone knows motherload, we don't need to include that one, but it would have been handy for brand new Sims players. So on this list, you have things such as full screen, headline effects on and off, which actually turn the plumb bob and the speech bubbles on and off, testing cheats, free real estate, create a sim clock speed, which I have no idea what that actually does, but it comes up when you type in help. Like I said, not the most user-friendly cheats in the world, but it is a feature that I have personally never ever used in the game. So if you're not super into Create a Sim and you're also not into building, then you are probably like me and you enjoy The Sims 4 gameplay. So these are some handy little features to help you spice up your gameplay, make things a little bit different, and just try to get the most out of The Sims 4. So if you actually go to your Sims phone on the UI and then go to the top of the phone UI, you can actually change the phone cover color. Try and say that 3 times fast. I always forget that this is a feature of the game. It is something that is very, very small. However, if you are a family player and you have like a lot of kids, or you just want to give your Sims a little bit more personality, add some characteristics to them, you can change their phone cover to like their favorite color. It will also change the phone UI. So if you are just sick of looking at that same old blue and green phone, then you can change it. You know how when you're in Create a Sim and you choose the lifetime aspiration and then you start to gain lifetime satisfaction points and you're like, what are these satisfaction points actually for? You can collect them by doing Sims whims. If they want to do a specific activity and you do it, then you can gain aspiration points for that. And you also gain them by ticking off parts of their lifetime aspiration every single time you complete a stage or a step in that stage. So if you've ever wondered what these points are actually used for, if you go to the lifetime aspiration box in the UI, you will actually see a little present symbol, and this is the reward store. I barely ever use the reward store, and I will say it's because I feel like it's a forgotten feature, not only for the players, but also for the people who make the game. I feel like the reward store just isn't updated enough. I feel like by this point in the Sims 4 lifetime, we could have had so many different rewards, and it just feels secondary to the team. It's like they forget it exists for some packs, but then other packs we do actually get it updated, but no one ever really knows that it's been updated because it's not a main selling feature of the pack. And also it's mentioned like once and then the team never ever mention it again. But here you can actually buy bonus traits, so you can buy traits that allow your sim to be more flirty or be better at gardening or never get sleepy. There are a ton of things that you can actually spend these points on. Again, if you want to add more individuality to your Sims, definitely go check out the reward store if you have some points saved up. Some of them are costly. I think the highest one is 10,000, and those are ones that actually help your needs. So your sim will never ever get sleepy if you get the never wary, or forever full, your sims will never go hungry. So those are pretty OP. If you are a game player like me, then the likelihood is that you like to take a lot of screenshots in your game, just to remember all the happy moments that have happened throughout your Sim's life, to look back on them like a little photo album. But guess what? That's an official feature of The Sims 4 that I barely ever see anyone use. I have to hold my hands up and say I constantly forget that this is a thing, just because it does take a little bit to get used to. And also, if you are like me and you do take a lot of screenshots, there's probably not much use you're gonna get out of this, because you're probably gonna spend more time scrolling through your screenshots than you actually are ever having your sim reminisce about them. But if you head to the bottom of your screen where it says like the day and the play, pause, 2-speed, all of that, if you head to that section of the UI, there is actually something called the camera options. So for example, if you've taken a screenshot of your sims proposing, or whilst they are stood under the arch and getting married, so you can hit these camera options and then you can go to Screenshot Capture Manager. You can choose to make the specific screenshot a happy memory, and then once you view it, you can actually have your sim call back to this time and reminisce about that memory. It's really cute if you do want to take screenshots of those big momentous occasions. A quick little thing to note on the memory system is if you capture that moment when your sim is feeling a certain way, for example, if they're feeling flirty when you take that screenshot, you can actually have it set as an emotional memory. So basically, if they're feeling romantic, it'll be set as a romantic memory. If they're feeling sad, it'll be set as a sad memory. And then when they reminisce on it, they will actually get that moodlet. Although I will hold my hands up and say it isn't quite as good as the video cameras that we got in The Sims 3 Generations, and I still miss those bad boys to this day. Speaking of weddings and happy memories, you can also have not so happy memories when it comes to weddings in The Sims 4. I actually did this in one of my Let's Plays once, and ever since then I've kind of forgotten that this was even a thing. And you can do this in The Sims 4 base game just like any other of these features. So once you actually start a wedding by clicking on the wedding arch, if you click on your Sim's romantic partner, aka who they should be getting married to but aren't, you can actually choose to call off the wedding. Yep, you heard me right. Your sim can totally get cold feet. This is a thing that not many people seem to know about, and this isn't a mod. This is actually in the game. I think when I did it back in my Young'uns Let's Play, a lot of people thought that it was a mod, but it is actually official content that the Sims team included, and it's one of those things that I really like about The Sims 4 because I kind of like not having everything go perfectly in my game. I like a spanner in the works here or there, and I feel like it just adds a little bit of drama to your storylines. And speaking of weddings, if your sim actually does go ahead and get married, and then say if they grow up to be elders, for example, they don't have to be elders, they don't need to be elders for this to happen, but you can actually choose to have your sims renew their vows at a later date, which is very sweet. All you have to do is, once again, have your sim click on a wedding arch and choose to renew their vows with their romantic partner if they are already married. And last but not least, a feature that is very close to my heart because you guys constantly call me out for this throughout all of my series whenever I have a kid in a family. You can actually have the adult sim in your family coach a kid to swim. This isn't part of the mentor reward trait. Any adult sim, I think, can do this to a child sim, and basically all you need to do is have a kid sim and an adult be in a pool at the same time, and then once you click on them, you should actually have the option for your adult sim to be able to coach the kid in swimming. It doesn't really do anything. It's kind of one of those interactions which is cute to see, but it's very surface level. Basically, all it does is have your adult sim like kind of wade the water, and then your kid sim will kind of just swim around and listen to them talking, and your adult sim will yell every once in a while. So technically it doesn't really do too much, which is why I constantly think I forget about it, because I'm just like, oh yeah, this exists, but it doesn't actually really do much. However, it does get their relationship and their parenting skill up for the adult sim. And I have seen recently with the talk of wanting a hobbies pack that people just want families to feel like families, and that's actually a little interaction that can help with that. So there we have it. Those are my 10 forgotten features in The Sims 4. And remember, all of these are actually available in base game. So if you guys only have the base game, or you have all of the packs, and I feel like with every pack that comes out, we forget what was in the last pack. So if there are any here that you have forgotten have existed, and you want to use them to add a few characteristics, add a little bit of personality to your Sims, or just stir up some drama, then let me know which of these you actually forgot existed, and which you will be using more of now that I have reminded you. And if you guys have any features that you seem to use a lot, but no one else really seems to know that they exist, then please do let me know down in the comments below. My last video took me by surprise with how many things I forgot about The Sims 4, so I would love to hear it if you guys have any more up your sleeve. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope this video helped you guys. If you have any questions about how to do any of these features, if I wasn't quite clear enough in my video, please feel free to ask me. I will try and get back to as many of you as possible, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye guys!